Good morning, everyone. You're watching Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis, and I'm back with some major updates around the world. After orders from Sonia Gandhi, Navjot Singh Sidhu resigns from the Punjab Party chairman post. Navjot Singh Sidhu, the Punjab Congress chief, was defeated in the Amritsar East election. Jeevan Jyot Kaur, an Aam Aadmi Party candidate and political newcomer, defeated Sindhu by 6,750 votes. The Congress received only 18 members, while the Aam Aadmi Party won 92 seats in a house of 170. Apart from Sidhu, Congress interim chief Sonia Gandhi has also asked the PCC presidents of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur to put in their resignations in order to facilitate reorganization of posts. Meanwhile, end of social media's influence on electoral politics, says Sonia Gandhi. The Congress chief on Wednesday urged the government to end the systematic influence and interference of Facebook and other social media giants on electoral politics being used to hack democracy. Speaking in Lok Sabha, she called it an issue of paramount importance while referring to the rising danger of social media abuse. She added companies such as Facebook and Twitter were used increasingly to shape political narratives by leaders, parties and their proxies. The comments came following an article which said Facebook undercut the opposition's influence on the platform ahead of the 2019 national elections and gave a distinct advantage to the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. Aam Aadmi Party leader Bhagwat Mann took the oath as the Punjab Chief Minister on Wednesday. Bhagwat Mann took the oath at Khatkar Kalan, which is freedom fighter Bhagat Singh's hometown. Addressing his supporters in Khatkar Kalan after taking oath as the 17th CM of Punjab, Mann said that he would not ridicule the opposition or indulge in petty politics. He said his government would work for all.
भगवंत मान ईश्वर की सौं चुकता हाँ कि मैं कानून द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा ते निष्ठा रखांगा कि मैं भारत की प्रभुता ਅਤੇ ਅਖੰਡਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਰਾਰ ਰੱਖਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਰਤੱਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਫਾਦਾਰੀ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਅੰਤਕਰਣ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਵਾਂਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਭੈ ਜਾਂ ਪੱਖਪਾਤ ਸਨੇਹ ਜਾਂ ਦੁਰਭਾਵਨਾ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਸਭ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਸੰਵਿਧਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਨੂੰ ਅਨੁਸਾਰਤਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਆਂ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ।
मैं
भगवंत मान ईश्वर की सौं चुकता हाँ कि जो कोई मामला पंजाब राज के मुख्य मंत्री वजों मेरे विचारधीन लिया जाएगा ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ज्ञात होगा वो किसी व्यक्ति ਜਾਂ व्यक्तियों ਨੂੰ सिवाए उसके कि अजिहे मुख्य मंत्री वजों अपने करतੱਵਾਂ ਦੇ ठीक ਨਿਭਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਜਿਹਾ करना ਲੋੜੀਂਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ मैं सीधे ਜਾਂ असिधे तौर पर ना दसांगा ना प्रगट करांगा। इनकलाब जिंदाबाद।
Meanwhile, some latest updates on the hijab ban. Supreme Court refused urgent hearing on appeal against Karnataka High Court verdict. The Supreme Court on Wednesday refused to grant urgent hearing to the petitioners challenging the Karnataka High Court verdict that upheld the ban on wearing hijab in educational institutions in the state. Senior advocate Sanjay Hegde had mentioned the matter before the apex court on Wednesday, stating that the urgency is this, that there are several girls who have to attend colleges. However, Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, refused to list the matter on Monday and will take up the matter after going vacation. According to the petition, the High Court decision creates an unreasonable clarification between Muslim and non-Muslim female students, which is in violation of the concept of secularism, which forms part of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. The ban in BJP-ruled Karnataka had sparked protests by some Muslim students and parents and counter-protests by Hindu students. Critics of the ban says it is another way of marginalizing the Muslim community that accounts for about 13% of Hindu-majority India's 1.35 billion people. Following court's ban, many hardline Hindu groups were requesting limitations on wearing the hijab in schools in other Indian states. thus alarming Muslim students who had demonstrated against the ban. India restores 5-year e-tourist visas with immediate effect. The government on Wednesday restored all valid 5-year e-tourist visas suspended since March 2020 because of the COVID pandemic to nationals of 156 countries with immediate effect. Nationals of these countries will also be eligible for issuance of fresh e-visas for tourists as per existing rules. The government also said it would similarly restore valid regular long duration tourist visas for US and Japanese nationals as well as permit issue of fresh visas to citizens of both countries. The government took the step keeping in view the improvement in the COVID-19 situation in the country and considering the need for further relaxation of visa and travel restrictions. 700 Ukraine returned students to get jobs in Telangana. Telangana students who went to Ukraine to study medicine will now have their studies paid for by the state government according to Chief Minister State Chandrasekhar Rao. Rao made the announcement on Wednesday in the State Assembly saying that 740 students from the state were studying medicine in Ukraine and have now returned and we will support them. Over 18,000 Indians were recently evacuated from Ukraine by the central government. No sanctions, but think about where you stand, says US on India buying Russian oil. The White House said India taking up Russia's offer of discounted crude oil would not be a violation of US sanctions, but appealing to all countries amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, think about where you want to stand. According to a statement issued by Moscow, Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak reportedly told Indian Petroleum Minister Hardeep Puri in a phone call that the country is keen to increase its oil and petroleum product exports to India along with Indian investments in the Russian oil sector. Meanwhile, India is close to reaching an agreement with Russia to buy 3.5 million barrels of Russian crude at reduced price. The deal indicates that Russia will handle shipping and insurance for the crude's delivery to India. The deal will signal India keeping its doors open to trade with Russia and an old ally. A discount on Russian crude oil will also help lower the cost of India. While 85% of India's oil needs are met through imports. NATO for Ukraine, says President Zelensky in the latest video. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in a hint of compromise, said his country should accept that it will not become a member of US-led NATO military alliance which Russia opposes. This comes as invading forces tighten their grip on capital Kyiv. At least 5 people were killed in the renewed bombardments of Kyiv on the 20th day of the Russian assault. Buildings were set ablaze and people lay buried. China boosts bed spaces as Omicron outbreak spreads. China has moved to 3 US hospital beds as officials on Wednesday reported thousands of new cases from an Omicron-led coronavirus outbreak that has put millions under lockdown and raised fears for the health system. The country recorded 3,290 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday, including 11 severe cases. The province of more than 24 million residents has only 22,880 hospital beds. As of Tuesday, 6,000 railway carriage-style hospital rooms, first erected during the early days of the pandemic in Wuhan, have been put in place in Jilin and the nearby metropolis of Changshu to deal with a pure influx of patients, as well as leaving tens of millions of people under lockdown across the country. The latest spike in case has sparked long queues outside mass testing sites and tight controls at ports, raising the risk of trade disruption. Costa Rica to collaborate with US to improve migration control. During a visit by United States Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas to Costa Rica on Tuesday, the two countries pledged to work together to bolster immigration and border policing in the Central American country. President of Costa Rica, Carlos Alvarado, met with Mayorkas just weeks after Costa Rica, Panama and Mexico enacted visa regulations that made it more difficult for Venezuelans and Cubans to transit through their nations on their way to the United States. Finally, Japan lifts COVID restrictions. Japan said on Wednesday it is lifting COVID-19 restrictions imposed on Tokyo and 17 other prefectures as a wave of infections caused by the Omicron variant F. An Omicron wave led to record infection rates in the capital and throughout Japan in February, the nation's deadliest wave of the pandemic so far. Tokyo logged 10,221 new coronavirus cases on Wednesday, down 13.6% from a week earlier. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida told a news conference that quasi-emergency restrictions would be lifted as of March 21 and the country would slowly return to normal. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe and share, and also do comment. This is Alice Francis signing off.